Right now, somewhere in your bathroom, there's a jar of cream that costs you more than a tank of gas. And I'd bet money it isn't doing a fraction of what the box promised you it would. If you're a woman over 50, you already know exactly the feeling I'm talking about. The soft focus commercials, the candlelight, the words lift and renew and age-defying, whispered like a secret. All of it aimed straight at us. Like clockwork. Like they know. Here's the part nobody standing behind that fancy counter wants to say out loud. A whole lot of the most expensive face creams sitting on the shelf right now are coasting. Coasting on a famous name. Coasting on a pretty jar. Coasting on a story so good, you stopped asking whether the cream inside actually earns 3 figures of your hard-earned money. And I'm done being polite about it. I've spent more years than I'd like to admit buying these jars myself. Saving up for the good one. Rationing it like it was made of gold because the price tag practically told me it was. I've read the reviews, thousands of them. I've stood in the aisle comparing labels. I've listened to what women our age actually say 6 months later, after the magic wears off, and the jar is empty, and the lines are exactly where we left them. And what I found made me angry. Not because these creams are poison, they're not, and I am not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you they are. It's almost worse than that. It's that we're being charged luxury car prices for a tank of regular. We're being sold the feeling of doing something nice for ourselves and handed a basic moisturizer with a designer markup on top. This is about your money, your trust, and frankly, the quiet little insult buried in every one of these ads. The idea that you'll buy just about anything if they make the box pretty enough and stamp the word youth across it. So today, I'm naming names. 7 face creams I genuinely believe women over 50 are wasting their money on, counted down to the one that is going to start an absolute war in my comments. And because I'm not here only to ruin your morning, I'm also giving you 3 I would actually keep on my own bathroom shelf. The one's worth every penny. So stick with me all the way to the end, because those 3 might save you a small fortune. If this is already making you side-eye your medicine cabinet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. This is what we do here every single week. We pull back the curtain. No sugarcoating. And before we start, I want to hear it. Comment right now and tell me which of these is sitting in your bathroom at this very moment. Be honest. Nobody is judging. We have all been suckered at least once. Let's get into it. Number 7. The famous pink jar. Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream. Now, I'll give it this. It is gorgeous. The packaging is a dream, the brand is glamorous, and it has a cult following of women who swear by it like a rosary. It's the cream the makeup artists supposedly reach for backstage. It has the word magic right there in the name. How could you not want a little magic at this age? But this is where the spell starts to crack. You are looking at roughly $100 for a fairly small jar of what is, in my honest opinion, and the opinion of an awful lot of reviewers, a perfectly nice and perfectly ordinary hydrating moisturizer. Pleasant, rich, fine. The kind of fine you can find at the drugstore for a fraction of the price. The trick isn't in the jar, it's in the word on the jar. Call something magic. Wrap it in that signature rose gold packaging. Get it photographed in the hands of every influencer with a ring light, and suddenly a $20 job feels like a $100 essential you'd be foolish to skip. That is not skincare. That is storytelling. And you are the one paying for the story. For the woman who was told this was some red carpet secret, the only thing red carpet about it is what it does to your bank statement. Beautiful jar. Basic cream. Magical markup. And believe me, the next one doesn't even have the decency to be pretty about it. Number 6. The one with the white coat halo. Perricone MD. This brand walks into the room wearing a lab coat. You've got a doctor's name right there on the box. You've got science-flavored language. Talk of breakthroughs, of high-tech actives, of things that sound like they belong in a clinic. And for a lot of us, that MD after the name is a comfort. It feels like a prescription. It feels serious. It feels like, finally, Somebody with real credentials is taking our skin seriously. But a white coat printed on a box is not the same thing as proof inside the jar, and in my opinion, that is exactly the point. The premium price here rides on the authority, on the implication that because there's a doctor attached, you're buying something more advanced, more clinical, more worth it than the stuff without the medical-sounding name. Plenty of long-time reviewers will tell you that what you are really paying for is that halo. The doctor. The packaging that looks like it came from a pharmacy shelf. The mechanism is simple and it's clever. Make it sound medical and you make a premium price feel responsible. Like you're not splurging, you're investing in science. For the woman who sees doctor on a label and lets her guard down, that reflex is precisely what these prices are built on. A name, a lab coat, a markup dressed up as a diagnosis. And the next one trades the lab coat for a beautiful, expensive fairy tale. Number 5. The most beautiful jar on this entire list. Tatcha's Dewy Skin Cream. I understand the love here, I really do. The packaging is stunning. There's a whole ritual to it. The Japanese-inspired story, the rich purple cream, the promise of that lit from within, dewy glow we're all chasing once our skin starts feeling a little thirstier than it used to. It feels luxurious, just to open the jar. It feels like self-care with a capital S. But let's be clear about what you're actually buying. This is a premium-priced rich moisturizer, and in my view, and the view of plenty of women who've finished a jar, the experience is the product, the aesthetic, the ritual, the feeling. Strip all of that away, and you're left with a hydrating cream that's lovely, sure, but a long, long way from the price it commands. Here's the mechanism. Aspiration. They are not selling you moisture. They're selling you a beautiful morning, a serene 10 minutes, a little slice of a life that looks like a spa. And honestly, that's worth something. Just maybe not what they're charging for it. For the woman paying for a feeling and hoping it comes with results, the feeling fades the second the jar runs out. A gorgeous ritual. A gorgeous jar. A gorgeous price. But the next one? Oh, the next one is going to make this comment section explode because it's a brand half the internet treats like a religion. Number 4. And I already know, I can feel it, the skincare internet is about to come for me on this one. Drunk Elephant. If you've got kids or grandkids, you've seen it. The colorful little tubes. The whole clean thing. The cult following that mixes the products together like a skincare smoothie and posts it for millions of views. It is, without question, one of the most hyped brands of the last decade. People don't just use Drunk Elephant. They evangelize it. So let me put my opinion on the table and take the heat for it. I think it is wildly overhyped for what it is, and I think a lot of women over 50 are being pulled into a trend that was never really built with us in mind. The pricing is premium. And that clean beauty angle, that is a marketing position, a very good one. But clean is not a magic word, and it is not a promise that the cream will do more for your face than something half the price. Tell me right now in the comments if you think I've got this dead wrong. I genuinely want to hear from the diehards because I know you're out there, and I know you're already typing. The mechanism here is community. It's belonging. The cult, the colors, the buzzwords, they make the price feel like the cost of admission to something cool. But you do not need to buy your way into a trend to take good care of your skin. A cool brand. A clever word. A premium price for the privilege. And while you're firing off that angry comment, the next one is the old money name your mother probably trusted. Number 3. The Heritage Heavyweight. Estee Lauder. This one runs deep for so many of us. The gold packaging, the department store counter, where someone in a crisp uniform made you feel important. The name your mother trusted, and maybe her mother before her. There is real emotion baked into this brand, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Buying Estee Lauder can feel like coming home. But here's the uncomfortable part, and it's just my honest take. Heritage is not the same thing as value. A name that's been around for generations has earned your loyalty, but it has also earned the ability to charge you a premium for that loyalty. You are paying for the legacy. The counter. The little ritual of the gift with purchase that makes you feel like you're getting a deal while you spend. The mechanism is nostalgia, plain and simple. They are selling you a memory and a sense of belonging to something timeless. Those feelings are real, and they're lovely, but they don't change the formula. And they certainly don't justify the markup over a simple, well-made cream. For the woman who's been loyal for 30 years, because it's what she's always known, loyalty should be earned every single year, not collected like a tax on your habit. A legacy, a counter, a premium for the privilege of nostalgia. But if you think that's expensive, hold on, because the next one costs about as much as a car payment. Quick thing before we get to the big ones. If you're learning something here, subscribe. This is exactly what we do, every week. No celebrities, no sugarcoating, just the truth about what's worth your money. Okay, number 2. Number 2, the one with the price tag that makes you laugh out loud until you realize they're serious. Augustinus Bader, the cream. This is the cream the celebrities will not shut up about. There's a professor's name on it. There's a mysterious, trademarked technology with a code name. There's an aura of exclusivity so thick you can practically smell it through the screen. It is the It Cream, the one whispered about in glossy magazines as the secret of the rich and the famous. And the real headline is the price. You're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 for a single jar. $300 for one cream. And in my opinion, and I am far from alone in this, that price is so wildly out of proportion to what any topical cream can reasonably do, that it stops being skincare and starts being a status symbol you smear on your face. The mechanism is pure prestige, scarcity, celebrity. A proprietary mystery you cannot fact-check, attached to a name that sounds like a research institute. Make it exclusive enough, make it expensive enough, and the price itself becomes the proof. It must work. Look what it costs. For the woman being quietly made to feel that real results require $300 she doesn't have, let me say this plainly. That is a story designed to separate you from your money. And here is where I want you to comment if you felt it too. If some part of you has always suspected these companies were charging us for the name, the hype, the fantasy, and never the results. Tell me I'm not the only one. A professor, a celebrity, a $300 fantasy. But it is still not number 1. Because number 1 isn't just expensive. Number 1 is a legend. And I am about to make a lot of you absolutely furious. Number 1, the most famous luxury face cream on the face of the earth, La Mer. And yes, I see you already. Putting La Mer at number 1 is going to make some of you want to throw your phone across the room. This is the Holy Grail. The miracle broth. The frosted jar that sits on the vanity like a trophy. The cream your favorite celebrities, your favorite morning show hosts, the most glamorous women you can think of all swear change their skin forever. For decades, this has been the gold standard. The one you save up for. The one you finally buy and feel like you've arrived. So let me say the quiet part out loud, and let me take every bit of the heat for it. In my honest opinion, and in the honest opinion of countless reviewers, skeptics, and plenty of experts who've looked closely, La Mer may be the single greatest example in the entire beauty world of paying for the myth instead of the molecules. You're looking at hundreds of dollars per jar, sometimes well into the high hundreds for the bigger sizes. Hundreds. And the engine driving that price isn't some impossible to copy magic. It's the legend. Here's the mechanism, and it is a masterpiece of marketing. There's an origin story, the broth, the discovery, the mystique. There's a ritual where you're told to warm the cream between your fingertips to activate it, like you're performing a ceremony. There's decades of the most aspirational advertising money can buy. Wrap a moisturizer in all of that, and you don't have a cream anymore. You have a relic, a piece of a fantasy. And the fantasy is what you're really carrying to the register. For the woman who scrimped and saved for the best, who was told over and over that this was the pinnacle of what luxury feels like, you were never the problem. You were just sold the most expensive story in the room. A legend. a ritual, a myth in a frosted jar, and that is the 7 I would put back on the shelf and walk away from. So, before you decide I've lost my mind, go check your bathroom right now. Go look. If you've got 2 or 3 of these sitting up there, I'm not telling you to feel foolish. I'm telling you that you were marketed to by some of the smartest people on the planet, and you deserve better than that. Because here's the good news. Not every brand is playing this game. A precious few are quietly doing right by you. No $300 jars, no fairy tales. Just honest products that actually have something real behind them. And those are the 3 I want you to write down. Worth it number 3. And it's probably sitting in your drugstore right now, looking completely unglamorous. Rosy. Specifically, their retinol creams. Here's why this one earns its spot. Retinol, a form of vitamin A, is one of the very few ingredients in the entire anti-aging world, with decades of genuine science behind it, for improving the look of fine lines and the texture of your skin over time. Not a fairy tale, not a fragrance. A real, well-studied ingredient. And Rosy has been doing affordable, no-nonsense retinol for years, without a celebrity in sight, and without asking you to take out a loan. Use it consistently, a pea-sized amount, a few nights a week, with a little patience. And over the weeks, a lot of women notice skin that simply looks and feels a touch smoother, a touch more even. No drama, no miracle. Just a real ingredient quietly doing real work. Rosy proves that actual results don't need a luxury price tag. They need an honest ingredient and a little consistency. Worth it number 2. And this is the one nobody wants to hear, because it isn't sexy. La Roche-Posay. And specifically, their daily sunscreen. Sit down for this one, because it's the truth the miracle cream people will never put in a glossy ad. The single most effective anti-aging product on Earth is a good daily sunscreen. The sun is, far and away, the biggest reason the skin looks older on the surface. The spots, the rough texture, the deep lines. Protect against that every single day, and you are doing more for how your skin ages than any $300 jar ever could. La Roche-Posay is a French pharmacy brand that dermatologists recommend constantly. It's transparent about what's inside, it wears beautifully, lightweight, plays nice under makeup, and it costs a tiny fraction of the creams we just put on trial. It is not glamorous. It is just the closest thing to anti-aging that actually works that money can buy. La Roche-Posay proves the best thing for your skin was never the most expensive thing on the shelf. And worth it number 1. The little tub that dermatologists genuinely keep in their own bathrooms. CeraVe. This is the anti-La Mer. We are talking somewhere around $15, $20. No frosted jar. No origin myth. No celebrity. What it has instead is a short, honest ingredient list. Ceramides, which help support your skin's barrier, and niacinamide, both ingredients with real standing behind them, and a brand that was developed with dermatologists and keeps earning their recommendations the boring, old-fashioned way, by quietly working. It feels good on the skin. It hydrates. It doesn't sting. Doesn't overpromise. Doesn't make you feel anything except comfortable and taken care of. There's no story here. There's just a cream that does its job for the price of a couple of coffees. And that's the whole point, isn't it? CeraVe proves what I've been trying to tell you this entire time. You were never the problem. The price tag was. Quality never required fooling you. So, let's bring it home. 7 creams I'd walk right past. The magic cream that's mostly in the name. The doctor's halo of Perricone. The beautiful ritual of Tatcha. The cult hype of Drunk Elephant. The heritage tax of Estee Lauder. The $300 fantasy of Augustinus Bader. And the grand legend of La Mer. Different jars. Same trick. You paying for a story. And 3 I'd actually trust with my own face. Honest, affordable Rosy retinol. The unsexy genius of La Roche-Posay sunscreen. And the quiet little hero, CeraVe. The moral of all of it is simple, and I want you to carry it into every aisle from now on. Pretty packaging is not proof. A famous name is not a result. And a high price is the easiest lie in the entire beauty business. You do not have to spend like you're being punished for getting older. So I have to ask, and I want a real answer. That jar in your bathroom, the expensive one, are you tossing it, or are you going to buy it again anyway? Be honest with me down in the comments. I won't judge. I just want to know who's ready to stop being played. If even one of these saved you from your next overpriced jar, do 3 quick things for me. Hit that like button so more women over 50 find this. Subscribe and ring the bell, because we do this every week, pulling back the curtain on the brands, counting on you not to ask questions. And then tell me 2 things in the comments. Which brand did I leave out that you want me to put on trial next? And what should I expose after that? Because next time, we're walking straight into the serum aisle. Those little bottles promising to erase 10 years for $200. Some hearts are going to break, and I cannot wait. Until then, keep your money, keep your confidence, and never let anyone tell you that looking your best means getting taken for a ride. This is Beauty After 50, where we age on our own terms, not theirs. I'll see you in the next one.